We are dining at every restaurant in Epcot's World Showcase, and today we're checking out Tutto Italia. Is this spot worth checking out on your next trip to Epcot? Let's go find out. The 11th episode of this series brings us back to Italy. We've already visited Via Napoli, the restaurant the Italy Pavilion is known for, and you might have not even known there was another restaurant here. While Via Napoli is known for serving Neapolitan pizzas, Tutto Italia is going to be serving up more traditional Italian-style entrees, including handmade pasta. That's what it says online, at least, so we're going to go investigate. But little fun fact before we head inside, I've actually never dined in the main dining room of Tutto Italia right here. I've only been inside the Tutto Gusto wine cellar, which is more of like walk-up. They have more walk-up availability and stuff, and they also have a nice bar in there. So I'm actually really excited to check this place out officially. I feel like when I've dined in the wine cellar there, it doesn't fully count. This is gonna be my first real experience, and I'm sharing it with you guys. Typically, I'm not the biggest fan of the food here in the Italy Pavilion. We have the Italy Festival booth, which every single festival is just a major letdown. I'm sure a lot of you guys agree with me. It just seems like microwaved stuff that they kind of just throw together. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this one, that I'm also not the biggest fan of Via Napoli. Every time I go, I always try it because everyone says it's so good, and every time I'm just kind of disappointed. So hopefully Tutto Italia is where it's at when it comes to dining in the Italy Pavilion, and I actually have not been able to find a reservation to Tutto Italia. Luckily, I walked up it's around like 4 o'clock, and I asked if they had any walk-up availability for one, and they did. So today's the day. Let's head inside. Oh, well guys, it feels so good to be inside, and I feel like this is one of those restaurants in Epcot that like kind of saves quite a bit of reservations for walk-up. I have been checking the app for reservations for the past 48 hours, and not a single one has popped up, and this restaurant is empty. And you can see I'm seated in this hallway. It's kind of eerie. I don't know how I feel about it. And then like the main dining room is just on the other side of the windows there, and I want to say there's maybe like 10 tables max filled with people in there. But I'm kind of here in this hallway, and it's, like I said, a little bit eerie. Like it just feels weird. Like this might not have been a seating area in the past, but then they needed more tables, so they made it a seating area. I don't know, it's kind of creepy. So you got the main dining room on my one side, and then on my other side here, we have kind of like the outdoor patio, which is not currently open. I think it's definitely way too hot to enjoy a meal outside at this point. But this is an option when you come maybe in the spring or the fall or the winter. You can have a nice meal outside, a little al fresco dining. Not a lot of restaurants at Disney World in general, especially in the parks, have like a place where you could sit outside and eat. I know they have that over at Spice Road Table in Morocco, and then at Tony's in Magic Kingdom. I might be forgetting a place or two, but it's a really great option. I definitely have to come back if the food is good and when it's a little bit cooler, and eat outside. That just seems like it would be a vibe. Now that we're all situated and I've cooled off a little bit, let's take a look at the menu here, and this thing is just loaded with a ton of delicious sounding things. We'll take a look at the beverages first here. You can see we've got a handful of different options. Italian sangria, I see a mule there, Italian margarita, I know that's a popular one, and then the espresso martini. Now in the beginning of the video I mentioned that I've been to the wine cellar just next door. I've gotten drinks there a handful of times, and I've also dined there once or twice, and I had to go try the espresso martini from the wine cellar a couple months back. Everyone raves about it and says it's so good. So I have tried the espresso martini here. A lot of people love it. Again, I wasn't the biggest fan, unfortunately. The way they make it, they kind of blend it in a blender with ice, and it just tasted very watered down, and it was very creamy. I was just not a fan. I know it's a favorite though, so if you guys come here, try it out, and if you guys have tried it out, let me know what you guys think. From the walk-up bar next door, I just prefer to get like an Aperol Spritz over there. That's my go-to from the wine cellar. But then of course, right next to the cocktails, we have a very large wine list here full of a ton of good stuff, and every time I see Chianti on the menu, I get very excited because I've actually been to Chianti and been to some wineries there in Italy, so I love to spot it on a menu, and I actually really love Chianti wine. Although I'm tempted by an Aperol Spritz, I think I'm going to skip getting a little beverage today. Like I said, the Aperol Spritz is my recommendation when you come here, or the espresso martini. A lot of people really like it. it's just not my preference of espresso martini. But I want to take a look over the food here. We'll get to all the like entree stuff a little bit later on. Let's just look at the appetizers to start. They're all listed in like Italian names, so I'm not going to try and pronounce them really. We have an octopus at the top, some calamari, a Caesar salad, a caprese salad, another like mixed salad there. We have some carpaccio. We have an eggplant parm type of thing. We have a prosciutto and melon, and then a pasta fazool soup. And then I almost forgot, there's also like a charcuterie board for two, but since I'm only one, I don't think I need all that meat and cheese. Although I will admit, it sounds really good, but I already know exactly what I'm getting for an appetizer, and this was an easy decision for me. I love eggplant parm, and they have, I guess, like a smaller kind of appetizer version of eggplant parm, and that's also actually what my server recommended that I try, so I had the right idea here. The entrees is where it's going to be a little bit more of a difficult decision for me, but let's go ahead and put our appetizer in, and we'll try that out. This is the baked eggplant parmesan. It's served with pomodoro, mozzarella, and parmesan for 19 bucks. Let's try it out. The eggplant is nice and tender and soft, but overall it's missing something. Maybe you could use a little bit of red pepper flakes. I think that could definitely help. A little bit of spice would go a long way with this. It's not the best eggplant I've ever had. I think I personally make better eggplant parm at home. And for $19, I mean, I expected this to be tiny. It's an appetizer, so I expected it to be a smaller portion, but even for Disney, almost $20 for this small of a like slice of eggplant parm is a little bit crazy. So for that reason, I probably would not get it again. The eggplant itself isn't as crispy as I would like it, and there's not enough cheese as I would like. You kind of just have the Parmesan and the mozzarella, a little bit of mozzarella melted on top, but besides that, there's really not any cheese. And as I'm eating more and more of this eggplant, another thing that I'm realizing that it's missing is just salt. It's very like plain, like it needs salt. I need salt and I need some crushed red pepper here. So a little bit of a disappointing start. You know, if I'm paying like $20 for this small of a portion of eggplant, I expect it to be better than what I can make myself at home with absolutely zero culinary training and zero teaching, and just kind of teaching myself how to bread and fry eggplant. So yeah, this should definitely be a bit better here. Not off to a great start. So aside from our appetizer, it looks like they also give you some complimentary bread here, something that they don't do at Via Napoli. It looks like we have some ciabatta rolls and then some breadsticks here. And to go with our bread, we've got a little bit of olive oil, balsamic, and Parmesan cheese. Props to them for actually having complimentary bread, though, because I know next door at Via Napoli, they do not, and they serve a focaccia, which I'm pretty sure they charge you $8 for. And it was like not a big portion. They're charging like $8 for bread over there. So at least the bread is complimentary. Well, so far we're not off to the best start, and I'm hoping our next courses can kind of turn this around. We'll take a look at the pasta. It says our pasta is crafted from premium wheat and meticulously bronze drawn to perfection. We have some fettuccine, a lasagna, a spaghetti with meatballs, a gnocchi, as well as a seasonal risotto, which is actually going to be shrimp with melon. And I did ask to confirm none of the pasta is made in-house, so that is very, very unfortunate. You know what? I got to pull up this website because I swear it said that it was. Where is it here? All right, so I'm not going crazy. It does say handmade pasta, and maybe it's not made in-house, but handmade pasta kind of makes it sound like it should be made in-house, but it is in fact not. There were a couple of things I was kind of debating on here. A couple of things sound really good. I was told the lasagna is good. One thing I definitely was not getting was the fettuccine alfredo. I reviewed Via Napoli like a couple months back, and then after that, a couple weeks ago actually, I went for my friend's birthday to Via Napoli, and we ordered like the entire menu. We ordered like every single pasta, and we were told the fettuccine is made in-house, the pasta itself, and which I now know it wasn't, but I knew after I had tried it that it 100% was not made in-house. It tasted like pastaroni. Like, it legit tasted like pastaroni, and I know I'm not going crazy here because my friend, who also reviews Disney food, agreed with me, and I was just not a fan at all. I also tried the chicken parm over at Via Napoli. Everything we tried was just It was just not good. I got a tortellini when I went and reviewed Via Napoli, and that was hands down the best pasta on the menu, I think, after trying everything. But yeah, I definitely was not getting the fettuccine Alfredo here too, because I'm sure it's the same. So for my pasta, I did decide to go with the gnocchi sorrentina. This is potato dumplings with roasted tomatoes, pomodoro sauce, and burrata cheese for $29. $29 for a pasta dish without any meat in it, even for a Disney resort, is crazy. So I was expecting like a good big hunk of burrata. No, we've got maybe at the very most 1/6 of a cube of burrata cheese on here. I expected it to be at least like half of a burrata. So hopefully it tastes good. And given how under-seasoned the eggplant was, I just took preventative measures and had them add some extra Parmesan and some crushed red pepper flakes on this gnocchi because I was kind of expecting it to be under-seasoned as well. Let's see. Well, it's really, really unfortunate because this tastes like the frozen meal that I get from Trader Joe's. And I really don't like when restaurant reviews go like this, where it's like bad thing after bad thing after bad thing. But unfortunately, I'm just giving you guys my honest opinion. I am just telling you guys honestly what I am tasting and how I am feeling about this food. And it really tastes like the frozen Trader Joe's gnocchi alla sorrentina. I think that's what it's called. But I buy it from the frozen section of Trader Joe's all the time, and it's pretty spot on. Let's try and get a bit of this minuscule piece of burrata in here and see if that improves it at all. I mean, the burrata and the fresh greens definitely improves it, but there's not nearly enough on here to kind of get some with every bite or like mix it in. There's just unfortunately not enough, and it just tastes like pre-packaged gnocchi with under-seasoned sauce. I'm so disappointed, guys. I really wanted to love this, honestly. I really, really did, because I'm not a fan of Via Napoli, so I was like, surely one of the restaurants in the Italy Pavilion won't let me down. And that's just not been the case today. The gnocchi is just way overcooked. It's way too soft. I wish it was a little bit less cooked. The tomato sauce, while again nice and sweet, it's just way under seasoned. It could use some salt. The only seasoning I'm tasting is the crushed red pepper that I had them add. It's another bland dish. But I did order something else, so here's to hoping that the swordfish I ordered is good. So I did already mention that I ended up going with the swordfish here for my little meat dish, but I wanted to show you the rest of the stuff that they have. They have a salmon dish, a steak, the swordfish that I ended up getting. They also have chicken parm, and then this slow braised chuck short rib and Maine lobster ravioli with a rosemary butter. I know I said it with the gnocchi, but I am once again hoping the next dish kind of turns everything around for me. There has to be one thing on this menu that I enjoy, right? This is the grilled swordfish served with crushed potatoes, Sicilian tomato pasta, and a piccata sauce for $36. And how are you going to tell me that this giant piece of fish is only $7 more than a bowl of gnocchi? I mean, this piece of fish is absolutely huge, and there's no way the pricing makes sense that it's only $7 more than a bowl of potato gnocchi. All right, let's start with a safe bet here. Let's try some of the potatoes first, and it has a little bit of that piccata sauce on there, which is the main reason that I ordered this dish. I love a good like chicken piccata. I figured it'd be really good with some swordfish as well, so try the potatoes. Has this restaurant ever heard of seasoning? I mean, this is some of the blandest food I've ever had in my life. I mean, let's try some of these potatoes without the piccata sauce, because even with the piccata sauce, there was not much flavor. No salt, no pepper, no garlic, no onion, nothing. I swear they literally just peeled potatoes, boiled them, and crushed them. Because they're not creamy mashed potatoes. They are just like smashed potatoes. They're not like creamy and smooth whatsoever, which would be fine if they were seasoned properly. there is just no seasoning, and I'm looking at them. It's not a speck of pepper. Not, oh my gosh. Ugh. If these potatoes could talk, they would just be screaming, please put some salt on me, please. Look, there's not a speck of any pepper. Nothing in there. Nothing. The swordfish was nice and tender though, so we'll see how this is. Okay, with the swordfish, I get plenty of that piccata flavor. The piccata sauce is actually like sticking onto the swordfish, and that is giving it all of the flavor because once again, I am once again looking at this piece of swordfish. It's grilled really nicely. You can see the grill marks. It is a huge piece. But I could tell just by looking at it that it was not seasoned. Like, I wonder if they have some salt in the back of this kitchen. That's like genuinely, I'm concerned. I'm really, really concerned because I don't think they do. Okay, I just took a bite with kind of everything together. I got the swordfish, the potatoes, the red sauce underneath, as well as the pesto and all of that piccata sauce. That is definitely the way to eat this dish, so you can get all of the flavor, maximum flavor, because we need every drop of flavor that we can get here. And while I am saying the swordfish is the best thing that I've tried today, it's really, really not saying much because I still probably would not order it again, nor would I really recommend it. I can't say I'd recommend anything that I have tried here today so far, unfortunately. And while it wasn't as bad as some of the other dishes, it's still just not, it's just not great. Again, I feel like I can make a better piece of swordfish at home, seasoned actually properly. I just don't know what is going on here today, unfortunately. I don't know if this video is doing it justice right now, but there is a lot of thunder and lightning, and the current sky is representative of how my evening here at Tutto Italia has been going. It is so dark outside, and I don't know if I'm going to be going anywhere anytime soon because I think a storm is definitely on its way here. So, I guess I gotta get dessert, and we'll give it one final try. Hopefully the dessert is good. In terms of dessert, we have quite a few options. We have a cannoli, a ricotta cheesecake, a praline chocolate mousse, tiramisu, a limoncello float, and then some gelati or sorbet. But I did see they had this ricotta cheesecake, so that's what I ended up going with. It has a blackberry and mint compote with whipped cream for $13. And now I love cheesecake. I love a cheesecake even more if it has berries on it, so hopefully we're in luck here. I'm praying. This is really good. It's very, very thick and very rich, which I love from a cheesecake. It has a slight lemon flavor, which I love my lemon desserts, especially when paired with a berry. This is a delicious cheesecake. I am so happy. I don't know if you can tell by my face, but I'm very, very happy with this dessert. The cheesecake itself isn't that sweet, which I love. You guys know I love my desserts that aren't overly sweet, and this is definitely not. Like I said, we've got that hint of lemon, which is just perfect. The berries are a little bit tart, so it takes that sweetness that the cheesecake has and just kind of evens it out, balances it out. It all pairs so well together. There's also a really good like whipped cream on top. I feel like it might have some mascarpone in it because it's like really, really thick. It's gotta have some mascarpone in there. And then it's topped with honey. This is a winner. This thunder out there is crazy, you guys, but I'm really, really enjoying this dessert. I think this is better than the cannoli, and I think it's better than the tiramisu. I'm assuming it's the same as the one at Via Napoli, and if it is, this is definitely the best dessert I've had. This might be one of the best foods I've had in all of the Italy Pavilion. I really, really enjoy this cheesecake. So finally, a success here at Tutto Italia. It only took about an hour and a half, but we have a successful dish here. Well, the rain has slowed down significantly, so I decided to make a run for it and head outside. It's slowing down even more, but what really stinks is that we are on the other side of the World Showcase, so we have to walk all the way over there and to my car. We've got a good 20-minute walk ahead of us, and I'm just hoping this rain holds out. It's picking up a little bit. I'm hoping it just doesn't start downpouring again. While I have a little bit of cover here in Germany, I did want to talk about some of the positives to dining at Tutto Italia. Number one was the service. The service was really great. My server was really friendly, and I appreciated talking to her. Number two is the outdoor dining area. There are not that many restaurants at Disney World on a whole that have outdoor dining as an option, and I could definitely see myself going back and dining outside over at Tutto Italia on a really nice day. Maybe when it starts to get a little bit cooler, I'll go back, I'll grab wine, maybe a bottle of wine, and sit there and enjoy some charcuterie. I don't know about you, but that sounds like ultimate vibes. I probably wouldn't order any of the other food again, but I would eat the charcuterie. I was still getting soaked under there, so I had to find a new spot. And look, the sky over there is looking promising, but I did have a third positive about my meal at Tutto Italia, and that was the cheesecake. The cheesecake was really, really good. I genuinely enjoyed that a lot, and I wish they kind of served it as like a quick service option, because I know they have a cart over there that sells like gelato, and they have like a tiramisu push pop, which I've actually never tried before, but I wish you didn't have to sit down to get that cheesecake, because that was hands down, and it's not even close, the best part of my meal. And I really, really cannot believe I am saying this, guys. And if you know me, you know how much I dislike Via Napoli. But I did not like Tutto Italia so much that I, again, cannot believe I'm saying this, I would rather eat at Via Napoli than Tutto Italia. That was really, really bad. And I know this video overall sounds very critical, but again, it's just my honest opinion. I am telling you guys exactly what I am tasting and trying to help you guys plan out your Disney dining for when you're coming to Walt Disney World. I know you guys spend a lot of money and take time off and stuff to come here, and I want to give you guys guidance on like the best restaurants that you could be dining at. And I could not recommend Tutto Italia at all, unless maybe you're looking for a midday break and you want to sit under the patio in some nice weather and maybe eat charcuterie and drink some wine, because that, I can tell you for a fact, is the only time I will be back at that restaurant. But for now, I'm going to leave you here in Epcot, and we really don't have that many World Showcase restaurants left on our list. I started this back in January, and I've slowly been making my way through every single sit-down, full-service restaurant in the World Showcase, and we're almost at the end. Left, we have Spice Road Table in Morocco, we have La Hacienda in Mexico, we have Shiki Sai in Japan, we have Takumite also in Japan, and we have Monsieur Paul. Am I missing one? I think that's like 4 or 5 restaurants left, which is crazy. And if you guys have been here since the beginning of this series, thanks for sticking around. I hope it's helping you guys plan out your dining. And it's of course been really fun for me as well to kind of get to go back to a lot of these restaurants that I either haven't been to or haven't been to in a really, really long time. So we'll definitely be getting to all of them before 2024 is over, and this year is just flying by. So again, thank you guys for sticking with me. Shout out to all of my awesome Patreon subscribers for supporting the channel. You guys are the bomb. And thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what restaurants of the ones that I just named I should head to next. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.